Welcome to Newton's Shredcast, episode 6, coming at you live from our shop located here in Sydenham, southeast London. My name's Alex Ireton and I'm going to be your host today. We're going to be catching up with We're going to be catching up with events, sessions, products, as well as general news, and we have a new segment today as well, which I'll talk about closer to the end. So our first segment is called Whassup.
If you wanna slide jam or fancy getting tucked, wanna hook up with some skaters, get those fresh wheels scrubbed. If you're waiting for the next outlaw to erupt, you're in luck, cause Newton Shred tell us what's up.
Big thanks to Dale Keane and Benny Hawes from Pre-Cool for that little jingle. I really love it. So, stuff that's kind of recently happened. I heard about this from George before it happened, but I didn't get an invite myself, but I'm not a big racing kind of guy. It was a Skate to Escape crew. They put on a little race called Winter Chaos, I think that was it, and it took place on Saturday at Frill Hill. I don't know where that hill is, I've just seen it a few times. It's just like a kind of general little mini downhill outlaw race, and the people I kind of saw are attending Ben Stainer, Finbarr Crowley, Dale Goodwin, Tom Campbell, and a few others. Now, it mostly looked like a kayak race because it appeared to be so freaking wet. I don't think I've ever skated in conditions that were so absolutely freaking soaked. It's pretty funny watching all the videos of the people surfing down the hill, as it were. And in terms of the race, the only thing I know is that Ben Stainer won. I didn't actually pay attention to who came in second or third, sorry. It's probably maybe Tom Campbell and Dale, I could be wrong. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And other than that, we're going to go on to upcoming events, stuff that's happening that you might want to get involved with if you want to be part of the wider scene. So these are going to be a couple of events here in the UK. So on Saturday the 12th of December, so that's not this weekend but the one coming, it's the Santa Cruz. Now I've mentioned this a few times before, I won't harp on about it too much. It's a 25-mile push from Hammersmith Apollo to Windsor, so that's West London heading out further west, and it's in aid of a couple of good charities for kids with congenital heart defects, so fully worth checking out, definitely recommend it. After that, the next kind of event that I'm seeing on the calendar is the New Year's Skate Bash, which takes place on the 2nd of January, obviously 2016. What I have here is meet at 10 AM at St James's Road in Malvern, and after there people will be going to the Impossible Hill. I've heard that it's pretty fun, it's pretty greasy. Raz once hugged a rock there by accident and bruised his chest for quite a while. So yeah, so that's kind of it that I can see coming up at the moment. I believe So You Can Longboard Dance, is that the one? Is going to be happening again in Eindhoven next year. I'll try and get some dates for that, but I think it's like a late winter, early spring. Now don't forget, if you want to keep up to date with events so you don't miss out on them, because you know the fear of missing out is pretty bad, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, or if you're on your phone or whatever, you can also get some audio delivered straight to it, either on a podcast app or Stitcher, or perhaps even follow us on SoundCloud. So yeah, moving on to the next section, hot shit. I don't have a jingle for this yet. We have a whole bunch of stuff come in, so I'm just going to glance over it quickly. We have the Gullwing Reverse trucks, including the Louis Pilloni Signature model. We also have the Caliber Standards, available in all widths, and we also have the Caliber Midnight Series trucks, so Midnight Satin Green, Midnight Satin Red, and I think Midnight Satin Blue. The green looks quite nice, it's a bit of a funky turquoise, very, not pearlescent, but very shiny, very nice looking. That aside, we also have some Root Longboards that recently came in. We're going to have them up on the website pretty soon. We've got Shark 92 and a Shark 96. The 96 is Sebastian Hurtler's race board. It's a bit wider than 92, it looks pretty nice as well actually for somebody with big feet like myself. We also have both of the Satirs, which is a bit more of a kind of dancing board. It's like an 89cm and 100cm one. And we also have like a biblical and some other stuff up here. Don't know how many of those you can see. Just to say, if you do want to win a set of Venom Cannibals, you basically go to our Facebook page or go to our Instagram account and look for the post where you've given away rules on how to win a set of those wheels. that competition will be closing on Sunday the 6th, so that's the last day to get your entries in. So I'll put a link to both the events I've talked about before and all the products I've mentioned. You can find those in the show notes. So anything I mention where there's a link applicable, I'll whack the link in there so you can find it afterwards. Next up, we currently have our Dishonourable Mentions section, and a sweet jingle by Ben Stainer, who won the Winter Chaos race as well. Dishonourable Mentions. Okay, so I don't want to rush through too much of this. I guess I could I could waffle on for ages, but first up we have Dan Ravenel, who's a member of the Newson's family. He's currently hooked up by Mindless Longboards and Idle Slide Gloves. He's starting a pretty cool series called 60-Second Session, and he's released a video for episode 1. You can check it out on our blog. It's a pretty fun little clip. I say little clip, it's a whole bunch of clips stacked together. It's pretty fun. It kind of shows what he's been up to for the last month or so. So his aim is to, every month, obviously skate as much as possible, and then put out like a new 60-second video. And obviously, because it's going to be a part of a series, it can't really be like repetitive or anything like that. So it's a very important kind of tool for him, kind of like striving to push forwards and to kind of not change up, but like expand his repertoire, as it were. So yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. And obviously Longboard Magazine Europe has recently kind of come into its next stage, as it were. It's a pretty cool platform where you're going to be able to find a whole bunch of articles and video posts which mostly focus on the European longboard kind of scene. At the moment it's a bit more kind of downhill focus with a bit of freeride, but there's obviously some freestyle elements in there as well, and loads of other kind of bits that are going to be coming as time rolls on. So you're actually going to be able to find this video in a separate column on that website as well. So I've seen some pretty cool videos recently. I won't try to harp on too long about them. The first one was Rug Burns with Dandoi Tonko, and it was, I believe, shot by Pero Pro, which is Alfonso Reseca. I probably got his last name wrong there. And it's via the Loaded Boards channel. It's absolutely hilarious. He's basically cut Dandoi out of loads of skating action and put him into funky generated kind of scenes and whatnot. And at one point have him riding like a carpet board, which is actually a real carpet board. It's just I think it's an electric, one of those boosted boards with like a stiff kind of carpet thing on top, and he's just like doing the little thing and just like gliding around. Pretty funny and worth checking out. I laugh quite a bit at it. Most of the Pero Pro stuff actually I do recommend. I'll try and include a link to his channel as well. Very kind of creative, and if you've seen any kind of like the busting videos over recent years of like Bruno and Totti, most of those have been done by Pero Pro, and they're definitely worth checking out in my opinion. A sweet video, but this time from closer to home. We have the Project Moonlight video that has been put out by Flying Focus. Flying Focus is actually Yvonne Labath, and chances are if you're pretty young you won't have any idea who Yvonne is. But for most of us who kind of come up into downhill like in the last like 8-10 years or whatever, Yvonne's been very much a staple like in the scene, putting out like crazy videos, competing in several different disciplines in terms of like racing. Like I've seen him do like inline, luge, stand-up, the whole shebang. And yeah, he's just kind of like a whiz with the camera as well, and he gets great onboard footage. And normally if he puts his time into like a project, I've seen him do lots of other stuff like downhill mountain biking, and I think some like wingsuit stuff. It's generally worth a watch, and this is no exception. So you can watch some skaters basically blasting down hills in full moonlight in I'm not sure which mountains. They're probably somewhere in Switzerland because he's Swiss, but it could be like Swiss Alps, French Alps, somewhere. It's just completely worth watching, and I highly recommend it. It's a pretty cool video. After that we have a bit of a kind of a technology piece. So Next Generation Vehicles, based in Slovenia, have been working on electric skateboards which are crazily fast. A few months ago you may have remembered seeing a video of Misho Urban riding one, and in the video saying, yeah, I really wish I bought my helmet, it's so fast, it's actually pretty scary. So they've come back for round 2. This time he's all levered up, and they managed to hire out a runway at an airport, and you see Misho taking this thing to its, maybe not its limits, but some pretty crazy fast speeds, like as in, if I'm not mistaken, in excess of 60 miles an hour. I probably should have written down the actual number. And he has a pretty gnarly bail right at the end, which he walked out of it fine. If you don't actually know who Misho Urban is, he was a very, very strong contender. Well, I say contender, he even took home the World Cup title in 2009, I believe, back when the IJSA was kind of still doing most of the downhill races. And yeah, he's kind of very pivotal in the development of fire trucks, which then became, well, he kind of, you know, took somewhat of that concept to move it over into Ronin trucks. And to be honest, if it weren't for Misho, really, like, Ronin may have not got the traction, no pun intended, that it currently has today. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. And yeah, if you want to see somebody go fast on an electric skateboard and slam, this is definitely the video for you. So I do have one more segment, but it's only on our audio version of the show, so that's going to be on SoundCloud. You can follow us on there, or you can subscribe to us on Stitcher, which is a podcast app for your Android or iPhone, or also the podcast app on your iPhone, iPod, iPad, you know, whatever kind of iDevice, or iTunes. You can find us on there. And Catch Up is basically me basically getting to catch up with people I haven't spoken to in a while, see what they've been up to, kind of expose you to them, not in a horrible way, and yeah, just kind of see where they're going to be going as well, any kind of future plans, any future trips. So yeah, it'd be pretty interesting. So my first guest is actually Sam Holding, who's on Newton's Family, and you've been paying attention, he's been doing quite a bit of travelling lately, not necessarily like one big trip, but the trips he has done have been like pretty intense. So yeah, if you wanna catch that segment, either keep on listening if you're already on a podcast, or if you're on the video, we'll have a link somewhere below where you can catch up with the rest of the show on the audio formats. So that's, I guess, pretty much it for this week. If you do have any questions or any events, videos, articles that you'd like me to mention, please do drop them in a comment below, or send them to us in an email, or perhaps, yeah, it's an email or whatever, it's all good. Obviously now it's Christmas, we're pretty busy here in the shop, and I assume I'm going to have enough time to do one more episode before I go away on holiday. And I think I'm going to try and do another one while I am away on holiday. Yeah, it's not a skate holiday, unfortunately, although I will be taking a skateboard or two with me. But yeah, I've never been to Kuwait. I don't think it's a pretty small country. It's a very, very small country. I'm not really sure what kind of skating I'll be able to do out there. So yeah, that's it really. Any questions, whatever, you know, comments box below, send us a message, keep stoked. And if you want to, please like, share, comment, or subscribe, you know, help spread the love. If you want to keep up to date with the news we're doing, that's definitely the kind of best way to do it. We'll try and have more events to report on, more sessions to talk to you about, and as time goes on, obviously more segments of catch-up. It'll probably mostly be of people that I know, because it might be awkward doing it with somebody I don't know, because it's not particularly a very formal interview kind of type. It's literally me just having a chat with somebody. So yeah, that's it. Thanks very much for tuning in, and if you are going to, please stay tuned for the catch-up segment. Until next time, I'm your host, Alex Arton, signing off. Laters.